evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Ryan Beachu.
Hi, I'm Jassi Marik with sport.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed with your weather report.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. 25-year-old woman stabbed to death during a confrontation over money. Police hold 2 suspects, one believed to be her ex-boyfriend.
Relatives of PC Ronald Douglas believe he may have been killed over a vehicle dispute and want his killer's hand.
The U.S. takes notice of TNT security challenges. Its ambassador designates signals that states of emergency will be a key focus.
Ahead in sport.
Atención Trinidad y Tobago, victoria. Atención para Kwesi Brown.
Kwesi Brown surges from behind to snatch men's Kieran gold as Team TTO's CSC Games medal count continues to climb.
Tomorrow's weather is all about timing as a tropical wave brings a wet and unsettled start to the day.
He had already lost 1 child to violence. Tonight, Cheyana Ruiz is grieving another.
His 25-year-old daughter, Cheyana, was killed after going to collect money she had loaned to her former boyfriend.
Tonight, we tell the story of a family devastated by yet another tragic loss.
What began as a visit to recover a $4,500 loan ended in a homicide investigation. Police say 25-year-old Cheyana Ruiz was fatally stabbed on Wednesday evening during an argument. The murder occurred at the home of her former partner in Edinburgh 500 in Chaguanas. Police recovered an 11-inch black-handled knife believed to have been used in the attack and are working with CCTV footage in their investigation. Ruiz was rushed to Mount Hope Hospital where she succumbed to her injuries. It is understood both the suspect and the ex-boyfriend of Ruiz are in police custody tonight. At Ruiz's Diego Martin home, her father Kelvin had just returned from fishing when he received the news. He says his daughter took a $10,000 loan to build a bedroom for herself and loaned her former partner $4,500 out of it. He says he spoke to his daughter's ex-boyfriend, urging him to return the money he borrowed.
Instead of anything happening, give the girl back she money. You say, oh, everybody's called me Papa. Okay, Papa. I can't pay she all, but I can give she half and then I'll give she the half.
However, he says the loan descended into a dispute that ultimately led to her death.
But then when I realized that he starts sending messages to she, some real disgusting message, telling she all kind of thing, how she this and how she that and how she this, and she used to come and show me all the messages. I say, Cheyana, forget that. I say, I know it's hurting you. I know it's a loan you take out to pay back, and that loan she take out was a $10,000 loan to build this little place in concrete.
Cheyana is the second child he has lost to violence. 8 years ago, his son was gunned down, also at the age of 25.
In no way, no parent could prepare for something like that the first time, far less for the second time. This is one pain, do go away. You just live with this pain. And sometimes you won't be thinking about it, and sometimes you walk down the road and you see something that's to remind you, and it all come back.
For another child, Cheyana Ruiz is left with only their belongings and memories. Meanwhile, the aunt of murdered police officer Ronald Douglas believes he may have been killed over money owed after a car accident.
The woman spoke with CNC3 News at their Morva home today, where Douglas grew up as a child. They heard he recently threatened to take someone to court over the vehicular accident, which they believe may have led to his death. Police say the 48-year-old officer was sitting in his vehicle along South Bank Road in Caroni just after 11 on Tuesday night when gunmen opened fire. Douglas managed to shoot one of his attackers during the exchange. 19-year-old Adetola Amon later died at the Arima health facility. Douglas's aunt says he was a child who never looked for trouble.
The day before, he called him and tell him that you don't want to pay me, but you don't have to pay me through courts and you don't have to pay me more than. So that's why they set out to kill him. And so tell him he won't get more than the car cost if he had to go to courts.
The women say the killing came during a week-long family reunion of celebrations. They are calling for those responsible to face the ultimate punishment.
I'm not sympathetic to anyone who kills somebody. Don't care who it is. I am just not sympathetic to nobody else.
I think when they get him, they should hang him. I'm sorry to say that, but I think he deserved to be hanged.
The women recall Douglas being a family man who worked hard to care for his 3 children.
They say his sister, who returned to the country after a year for the celebrations, remains inconsolable, along with his mother.
The media ambassador for the police service, ASP Owe Russell, says no stone will be left unturned in apprehending the 2 remaining suspects responsible for PC Douglas's death.
On CNC3's The Morning Brew program today, Russell said he worked with Douglas in the Western Division. He recalls the officer's dedication to duty.
That gentleman he was a very good officer. He was always ready, always came to work in that frame of mind to work, always tactical, always ready, always. And you know, he liked the hours in the night. So he started going out and get 11 to 4. He was never interested in promotion. He said he wanted to stay and guide the officers in the charge room. Spent quite a bit of his career in the criminal investigation department, a wealth of knowledge.
Commenting on the national conversation over the leaking of a private conversation between 2 women that led to their detention for over a month, Russell said freedom of speech does not mean freedom to say anything you want.
You have the ability to criticize the government and stuff like that, but you have to be careful where you take it, how far you take this criticism. When you look at the different acts, because there's harassment, so you continuously going online and saying something negative. We have libel, we have slander.
Russell adds that while citizens can express themselves, they are not allowed to threaten government ministers, the Commissioner of Police and his family, or harass others.
He says laws were created to prevent such things from happening. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says recent racist attacks against her were deeply hurtful, not because they were personal, but because they reflect a growing loss of humanity in Trinidad and Tobago. At the office of the Prime Minister's African Emancipation celebration today, Persad-Bissessar said the incident highlighted the need for citizens to reject prejudice and embrace national unity. She said while public life requires resilience, she was saddened to see people become consumed by division, warning that no nation can survive if its citizens lose sight of their shared humanity. The Prime Minister said African Emancipation Day should serve as a reminder to break free, not only from the legacy of slavery, but also from the modern-day chains of hatred, ignorance, and fear. The PM also pledged to continue serving every citizen equally, saying the office of the Prime Minister belongs to all of Trinidad and Tobago. But the political leader of the Patriotic Front is accusing the Prime Minister of avoiding accountability and using divisive rhetoric to deflect criticism of her government. In a Facebook post today, Michaela Pandey questioned the administration's continued comparisons with the former PNM government and criticized its response to concerns over the state of emergency and preventive detention orders. She argued that governments should answer difficult questions rather than change the conversation.
With Dominic and Genevieve Hadid and their elderly relative, Star Sabga, no longer in prison, their attorneys say there is no need for an urgent hearing of their detention challenge. Justice Vigil Paul today set deadlines for evidence and amendments before adjourning the matter to October 19th. The 3 were detained in late June under preventive detention orders linked to an alleged plot to assassinate senior government officials. The Court of Appeal later granted the Hadid's house arrest, citing Dominic Hadid's health and concerns over the basis for their detention. The state appealed, but the Homeland Security Minister later revoked their detention orders. Earlier this week, Justice Paul also granted Sabga house arrest. In their lawsuits, the relatives claim they were targeted because of their ethnicity and the Hadid's challenge to the termination of their state land leases. Their attorneys are also questioning the intelligence used to justify the detentions, claiming a statement allegedly made by Sabga during a phone call with Genevieve was wrongly attributed to Dominic Hadid in his detention order. Jennifer Johnson Carroll, U.S. President Donald Trump's nominee to become the next ambassador of Trinidad and Tobago, says the repeated states of emergency doesn't bode well for TNT's ongoing battle against crime. During the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee, the TNT-born woman was questioned about the stability of this country's government. Johnson Carroll declined to offer a definitive assessment before taking up the post, but she acknowledged concern over TNT's security situation.
I do know that they have had several emergency orders, which it doesn't bode well with regards to the criminal activities that's been occurring for a number of years, and that is something that needs to be addressed. And hopefully, I've confirmed with my direction on the ground and sharing that information back to committee as well as the president and the state that we can come up with some strategic goals to help in that endeavor.
In highlighting her priorities, if confirmed as ambassador, Johnson Carroll pointed to the country's porous borders and declining energy production as key issues shaping the U.S. Trinidad and Tobago relationship, highlighting ongoing security cooperation and support for energy development.
We have an issue with regards to energy, of their production reducing, and the United States is committed to moving forward with a license that has been accepted for a sector in the Caribbean area between Venezuela and Trinidad to help the country explore for additional resources, which will also help the United States.
Johnson Carroll was nominated by President Trump on June 2nd, becoming the first Trinidad and Tobago-born woman selected to serve as U.S. ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. Her nomination now advances through the Senate confirmation process before a final vote by the full Senate.
2 people accused of operating a human trafficking network in Tobago are among the latest detainees held under preventive detention orders.
Authorities allege Francis Carolina Ojeda recruited and moved vulnerable Latin American women between Trinidad and Tobago for sexual exploitation, while Tobago resident Damon Dominic Charles allegedly housed and transported victims.
Investigators allege they received and housed trafficked victims from Trinidad, transported them to locations where they were exploited, and used commercial premises as hubs for the operation.
The latest gazette also names Tobago resident Vaughns Taylor, who authorities accuse of links to an organized crime group involved in violent robberies.
Well, the search for missing Venezuelan migrant 21-year-old Nicole Landayeta entered its 6th day today as rescuers searched an Icaca swamp in the hope of recovering the mother of 2.
Members of the Hunters Search and Rescue team carried out the operation during low tide after consulting with the Coast Guard, allowing them to access an area normally cut off by the sea. But after scouring the swamp for several hours under intermittent rainfall, they returned empty-handed. Meanwhile, Coast Guard continued searching off the coast of Icacas in case ocean currents carried Landayeta past Icacas Point towards the Soldado oil field. The mother of 2 was one of 3 people traveling on a pirogue to Venezuela last Saturday. The vessel, which was allegedly transporting scrap copper, overturned with 3 people on board. Venezuelan national Julio Lopez was found dead along Icacas Bay, while Landayeta remains missing.
Still to come in the news, an assurance there's no governance crisis at TSTT. The Public Utilities Minister says 2 board members resigned because of work commitments, not internal disagreements.
A $1.2 billion airport, but will visitors come? Tobago's tourism stakeholders warn the new terminal could become a white elephant without a major marketing push.
Coming up in sport, a no-show by Wales gifts a bronze to TNT sprint trio at the Commonwealth Games. Welcome back. Former Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Dr. Arima Brown is rejecting the government's explanation for why Trinidad and Tobago voted against extending the term of UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk.
The vote last week made Trinidad and Tobago the only CARICOM country to oppose Turk's reappointment. After days of criticism, Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers said the decision was not a rejection of Turk or his work. Instead, Sobers said government objected to what it described as a rushed appointment process, arguing member states were given too little time to consult before the vote. However, Dr. Brown accused Sobers of offering new excuses, saying diplomats routinely seek instructions from their governments, including over weekends. He also rejected claims the appointment should have been left to an incoming UN Secretary General, noting 144 member states backed Turk's reappointment and praising his human rights record, including his stance on Gaza. Public Utilities Minister Barry Podarath is pushing back against suggestions that recent resignations from the TSTT board were linked to internal disagreements or governance concerns.
Podarath says the resignations of Kyle Maloney on July 3rd and Nadira Prabhudial on July 23rd were due to competing professional commitments. He says both directors stepped down due to demands of their primary employment, including international travel and increased workloads, which affected their ability to continue serving.
So it really had no sinister issue behind them in terms of any fallout or any difficulty in terms of policy being adopted by the board or the operations and management of the company. It was essentially because of the positions that they hold in their substantive job. It was in conflict in terms of scheduling, in terms of the workload.
Podarath says Cabinet has already approved one replacement, with a second appointment expected to be considered shortly. He says the remaining directors continue to oversee the operations of the company while the process is completed. Meanwhile, Podarath is also pointing to TSTT and its subsidiary Amplia's reported financial turnaround. The company's recorded an after-tax profit of $214 million for the financial year ending March, the strongest performance in 17 years. He says workers will also benefit from this increase.
And I'm sure that the union will not be unreasonable. I know at times it can be very heated, the exchange with Miss Ojir, but I don't think she's an unreasonable person. I think she would see that the company is growing. It is doing a lot better than what we inherited, but obviously we share the view with her that similarly the employees must share in whatever success the company is experiencing. But what that looks like in terms of the dollars and cents, we'll have to also make sure it makes sense.
CNC3 News contacted Communication Workers Union Secretary General Joanne Ojir for comment.
We're told that she is currently on vacation. Meanwhile, the Public Utilities Minister says heightened security around him will not stop him from attending public events or carrying out his duties. Podarath was responding to criticism over his appearance at public events, including a World Cup final watch party. He reiterated that enhanced security was implemented by the TTPS following a threat assessment, not at his request. Podarath said Special Branch advised him of credible threats and increased his security because of the office he holds and investigations related to his portfolio. He said his family does not receive state protection, so he has personally paid for private security to ensure their safety. While acknowledging the impact the arrangements have had on his personal life, Podarath said he will continue to serve his constituents and will not withdraw from public life.
I have taken the position that I can't live in a bubble all the time. Like many other ministers or public officials who have held the position that I've held before, it did not prevent them also from attending these events. You just take extra precaution.
He says he will continue to follow the security protocols set by the officers assigned to his protection. WiPay owner Aldwin Wayne has dismissed allegations that his company mishandled government funds or was responsible for a crash of the online fixed penalty notice payment system.
Wayne says WiPay is only a software provider, explaining that all payments are deposited directly into government-approved bank accounts, meaning the company never receives or holds government revenue. He said claims that WiPay retained public funds are therefore false. He also denied reports that the fixed penalty notice payment platform had crashed, saying the U-turn system remained operational and that any issue with the government's website would not be caused by WiPay's payment software. Wayne said WiPay has provided online payment services to the government since 2016 without similar issue.
WiPay never got $1 of the ministry's money because it's not set up in such a way. Even the basis of the statement that WiPay have government money in it itself is crazy, because how you set up government payments, government have to get approval from Treasury to open an account for digital payments or online payments. And then they say, okay, WiPay, we have a bank account set up. We need you now to put our software on top of that.
Wayne says WiPay owns the intellectual property rights to court pay. CNC3 News understands Cabinet discussed the platform's expansion across government services last July.
Finance Minister Dave Tanku, Minister in the Ministry of Finance Dr. Kennedy Swartzing, and Transport Minister Eli Zakur were contacted for comment, but no responses were received up to news time.
The Trinidad and Tobago Automotive Dealers Association is hoping for a speedy resolution to the recent reclassification of mild hybrid vehicles.
Speaking with CNC3 News after meeting with Finance Minister Dave Tanku, Association President Visham Babwa said a discrepancy between the legal notice and customs classification documents appears to have led to mild hybrid vehicles losing access to hybrid tax concessions. Babwa said the minister and custom officials have been receptive to the industry's concerns. With Cabinet meeting today, he's hopeful a solution could come within days.
Because it's a legal notice and the minister can't issue that on his own, he has to now go to Cabinet and they would have to approve that. They would have discussion and then they would have to issue that legal notice. So again, the discussion centered around that, but he could not give a commitment, so to speak, a commitment as to what would happen. But what he did indicate was that it would be a win-win situation for everyone.
While there's still no official word on whether vehicles already on order or at the port will receive any temporary relief, Babwa and his Vice President Ronald Fields said they left the meeting encouraged that government is actively working toward a resolution that addresses the concerns of dealers and consumers alike. Last week, several mild hybrids were leading to several popular vehicles increasing in prices by tens to thousands. It is perhaps the busiest hub in East Trinidad, but in a recent visit to the borough of Arima, our team of cameraman Gary Vincent, photographer Abraham Diaz, and reporter Peter Christopher discovered several recurring concerns.
Here's more in tonight's Business Community Piece.
The most eastern borough of Trinidad and Tobago has seen significant development in recent years, which should signal new opportunities, but it has not been exempt from various challenges that have afflicted businesses across the country. In the heart of Arima, business owners and customers shared concerns we've been hearing across the country. Crime is a major issue, with some saying fear is keeping customers away and hurting sales. But another concern raised constantly was the rising cost of doing business.
What the suppliers are saying, mostly the farmers, because it's fruits as they realize, right? They are saying that the cost of fertilizers and other components, the chemicals that they need to use for the crops, have been increasing, right? I don't know if it's because of the war or because of the economy or whatever it may be, but the increase is there, right? And the prices continuously going up.
A short distance away sits Stephen Gibbon, who too can attest to trying to manage these rising costs as he runs his makeshift produce stall in front of Subway.
It's expensive right now in the market. When you're going in the market, spending a pound and a crown and you really make it much, but we still try. You understand? Also work otherwise as a security in the night, and this is what I'm doing in the day. So I'm doing double work right now just to try to keep up. You know, since the COVID, it's been hard.
Former Arima Business Association President Raj Jadhu has been doing business for over 40 years. While he oversees some early back-to-school shopping in Arima, he still worries about foreign exchange availability.
Foreign exchange, and that is a problem at this point in time, all because of what transpired before. But it is over 4 years now, I haven't gotten any foreign currency to bring in goods into the country. which is bad. And without that, how could we survive?
Another former Arima Business Association president and current Owner Dealers Association president, Rival Chattergoon, says he has also seen increased costs due to the foreign exchange woes. But other challenges have been impacting business in Arima, namely job instability and the reluctance among consumers to spend.
I was confused in terms of applications that I'm getting on my desk for so much people from the public service. So that tells me a story.
Jadu also has a concern about the employee pool available.
If it's 200, they work 400. That can't work. How could it work?
This concern was shared by Dr. Chow owner Gregory Walker, who admits he has been manning the stall due to a similar issue.
In reference to business, from what I've realized, the major problem seems to be with the employees that you would like to hire, right? The education system needs to also improve in the country in order for us to get good workers, in order for business to grow.
But Lizanne Smith, who moved to Arima to support her daughters currently pursuing tertiary education, is looking to seize the opportunity since starting her food business here 2 weeks ago.
It has been awesome. Actually, I'm not an outside person, but this street don't sleep. They are out 24 hours. So I love the location for the fact that it is really good for business because they don't sleep. So they buy food practically for the entire day.
While others did raise concern about crime in the area, Smith feels it is best not to live in fear, but to seize the moment. Despite these challenges, the fact that new businesses are still opening in Arima suggests that there is opportunity still to be explored here. Peter Christopher, CNC3 News, Arima.
Let's tell you what's still to come in the news tonight. 17 people receive a second chance. Presidential pardons are formally presented at the Ministry of Justice.
Find out why you need extra caution when heading to the beaches. I'll break it all down for you right after the break.
Panadol's new formula, 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach. Because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
KC Ginger Mint, your trusted and natural wellness. Now with healthier options. KC Ginger Mint with honey and lime. KC Ginger Mint with orange and KC Ginger Mint with lemon. KC Ginger, honey, lemon, lime, and orange. Natural and trusted for generations for soothing sore throats and digestion and boost immunity. Get your new KC Candy Ginger Mint extended range today and breathe naturally.
The biggest party in sport is back. Catch every TKL March live and exclusively on CNC3, August 7th through September 20th. You don't want to miss the action. The Republic Bank CPL 2026, only on CNC3. Passion, energy, and cricket live here. Brought to you by
Today, Barbados pauses to honor one of our greatest sons, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers, who passed away on July 17th at age 89. A sporting legend, a national hero, and an ambassador whose extraordinary talent elevated Barbados on the world stage. Through his excellence, humility, and unwavering pride in his homeland, Sir Gary inspired generations and showed the world the strength of a small island with an extraordinary spirit. You can pay tribute to Sir Gary by visiting sirgarysobers.bb. Thank you, Sir Gary. Rest well. Your legacy lives on.
Despite concerns from pharmacy associations about CDAP medication shortages, the Trinidad and Tobago Association of Retired Persons says it has not received any complaints from its members.
Top First Vice President Ronald Cooper told CNC3 News the association has not received reports of retirees being unable to access their CDAP prescriptions. His comments come a day after Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo acknowledged supply and distribution challenges affecting the program. However, the minister said patients should still be able to get their medication through other health centers if a drug is unavailable at one location. Dr. Bodo said pharmacists have been instructed to check nearby facilities when prescribed medications is out of stock, while the ministry works to improve supplies. Well, today we asked, have you or a family member been affected by shortages in CDAP drugs?
This is what you had to tell us.
Actually, my mom under the CDAP tablets, but no problem. She receiving her own as normal.
When do you receive? I don't have CDAP, so I'm good. No, I'm not, and I don't know anyone.
No.
No, I am not affected, and I don't know anyone who is affected.
Whatever money I have, I produce, I buy what I'm supposed to buy. But there are some people, naturally, they are not fortified in getting products to themselves, right, by way of medicines and other things, because they don't have finance. They will tell you that they don't get a salary, and well, they are waiting to see that program, and they don't even get the tablets.
Sigoni's back. Sigoni, here comes the rain again.
That's right. We finally have a tropical wave that is bringing in some meaningful rainfall. All of the other waves we've had for the last few days have been dry and dusty. This one is going to bring in some pitter-patter that's going to make you sleep soundly tonight. And in a few areas, it's going to be extremely heavy and possibly accompanied by a bit of thunder. So look out for that in this forecast. Let's see what else is happening there, because today we had a mixture of sunshine and cloudiness, a lot of heat as well, and the humidity packed a punch. Into the rest of the day, however, we started to see clouds creeping in a few areas, starting to see an increase in showery activity, mainly light to moderate. But as the evening progresses, it is going to get a little bit more intense. Right now, when we enhance our satellite imagery here, what we do have is that there are some showers already developing in parts of Tobago, Trinidad, along the western quadrant and along the eastern side as well. We are seeing some bit of cloudiness and showers moving in with this tropical wave, which is also influencing the ITCZ, the Intertropical Convergence Zone. So both of these features, our biggest rain-making or rain-bearing features of the wet season, are at play out in the atmosphere right now and will be bringing in some wet relief for us as the evening progresses. So just into that midnight factor now, when we look at what's happening, we'll see showers and possible thunderstorms developing, especially for Tobago, but around 4 o'clock in the morning, we could see that happening for parts of western Trinidad, across south and southeastern quadrants, already seeing showers, and that will just increase as the evening progresses. So into the next couple of hours, into tomorrow, for Trinidad, we wake up to thunderstorm activity across varying localities of the island, and with it, we'll also get some light to moderate showers in there as well, and we'll see that cloudiness really taking over. But as the day progresses, we start to see that tropical wave move into the Caribbean Sea, and that means our weather starts to improve significantly, and we'll be drying out for the most part into the evening forecast, but still looking out for a few lingering showers. Tobago will see this similar spell of weather, cloudy skies, showers and thunderstorms into tomorrow morning's forecast, but by midday, a gradual improvement happens, that cloudiness and sunshine mixing throughout the day. Still looking out for some lingering showers into that 6 o'clock in the evening part of the day. Now, if you're heading offshore, exercise caution with the showers and thunderstorms, with some stronger winds at play as well. We could see occasionally choppy with conditions within the nearshore and sheltered areas. And remember, we have spring tide also in effect that could compound the situation if you are heading out there during your high tide times especially. So you want to be mindful of that. Exercise extra caution for those of you offshore. Everybody else on land, umbrellas on hand into tomorrow morning. Look out for street and flash flooding, gusty winds, and as the day goes on, it improves significantly.
Thank you so much, Sigoni. I'm looking forward to some showers.
Me too.
All right, well, still to come in the news, the legacy of Queen's Royal College takes on a new canvas. A special exhibition showcases the artistic talents of its distinguished alumni.
For over 4 decades, Nagico has been a steadfast partner, enabling communities and businesses across Dutch, English, and French-speaking territories within the Caribbean and also France. Every policy we provide is a promise to help with managing the uncertainties of life. Beyond insurance, we're committed to uplifting our communities through sponsorships and initiatives. We're a people-centric, purpose-driven organization dedicated to building a brighter future.
AM Best rated us A-, excellent for financial strength.
Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago, driven by 2 silent threats, diabetes and high cholesterol. But now there's a powerful ally, introducing Berberine Plus by Asia Nutrition, clinically proven to stabilize blood sugar and keep cholesterol levels in check. With 99.9% pure extract, you get superior absorption and real results. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus. Your heart deserves better.
Mega month and deals now on at Passad's The Food King. Stock up and save big on Cataly tomato ketchup 750 ml. Get 4 packs for only $20. Clorox bleach 2 liters now $20. Coca-Cola 591 ml. Get 5 bottles for only $20. Fresh Harvest peas and carrots. Get 4 tins for only $20. Green Butterfly evaporated milk 250 ml. Get 3 packs for $20. Golden Brand margarine. Get 4 sticks for only $20. Cold soft drink 2 liters. Get 3 bottles for only $20. Cataly pasta cuts. Get 5 packs for just $20. Matook's peanut butter 250 grams. 2 tubs now $20. Don't miss these mega month-end deals at Passad's The Food King. Sale end August 5th, 2026 or while stocks last.
Passad, quality value, that's our way. The real Passad's, we're here to stay. The Food King Passad's.
17 people have been granted presidential pardons. Justice Minister and Minister in the Office of the Attorney General Devish Maharaj, in his role as chairman of the Advisory Committee on the Power of Pardon, presented warrants of presidential pardon to the recipients at the ministry's head office in Port of Spain yesterday. Minister Maharaj thanked members of the Mercy Committee and its secretariat for their work, acknowledging the lengthy process and backlog of applications. He said the ministry remains committed to moving applications forward and ensuring the timely administration of this constitutional function. He also commended recipients for turning their lives around, saying the pardons reflect the importance of second chances, rehabilitation, and restorative justice.
Tobago's tourism stakeholders are warning that the $1.2 billion new airport terminal could become a white elephant without a major increase in its marketing budget. Echoing Tourism Secretary Zarisha Hackett, Hotel and Tourism Head Reginald McLean says Tobago must put its money where its mouth is. Tobago's US $1.5 million marketing budget pales in comparison to the US $25 million invested by Jamaica and US $40 million spent by Barbados. McLean says Tobago continues to play catch-up as its annual international arrivals equate to what Barbados welcomes in 1 week.
The airport is going to be a white elephant unless we spend money to market. Flights are not going to come until the hotel rooms are in the order that they need to be in. Money has to be spent on the hotels, resorts, etc., on what Tobago needs.
Jamaica's Director of Tourism, Donovan White, said the key to unlocking tourism's potential is building a globally visible brand.
Marketing also has to do with logistics, right? So if you're not able to connect the people to your destination via air or sea, then there's no market for you. Because, you know, in order for the people to get to your destination, they have to be able to fly there. And so a big part of your marketing has to be how you develop your air connectivity and your cruise connectivity with your ports to be able to give visitors access to your destination.
Tobago recorded approximately 11,500 international visitors last year, while cruise calls fell to just 32. That is a 50% drop from 2 years ago.
Well, let's hand you over now to Jassy with sport, who answers why the biggest party in sport has fans in a frenzy before the first ball is even bowled.
The box office opened today and hundreds flocked to the Queen's Park Oval to get their hands on the hottest tickets. Unfortunately, though, many were left empty-handed. Instead, we'll have the details after the break.
Today, Barbados pauses to honor one of our greatest sons, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers, who passed away on July 17th at age 89. A sporting legend, a national hero, and an ambassador whose extraordinary talent elevated Barbados on the world stage. Through his excellence, humility, and unwavering pride in his homeland, Sir Gary inspired generations and showed the world the strength of a small island with an extraordinary spirit. You can pay tribute to Sir Gary by visiting sirgarysobers.bb. Thank you, Sir Gary. Rest well. Your legacy lives on.
It's Jay's exclusive 3-day shoe sale. Get 32% off on all shoes, all stores and online. 3 days only. Don't miss it. JD's exclusive big 3-day shoe sale. JD's, Princesstown, San Fernando, Rio Claro, Gasparilla Mall, and M6 Plaza Chaguanas. Your low price headquarters, JD's.
With Alive multivitamins by Nature's Way, you won't be defined by time. You'll own every minute of it. Discover how you can age vibrantly with Alive.
"7 PM Sports News, brought to you by Tattle and Tattle Life.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. Trinidad and Tobago was back on the Commonwealth Games podium today in Glasgow, Scotland, as the men's team sprint cyclists claimed bronze. Although it was somewhat anticlimactic in the end, Team TTO is happy to see its second medal at the Games. Samaki Felician reports.
Trinidad and Tobago added a second medal to its Glasgow Commonwealth Games collection on Thursday, as the men's team sprint cycling trio of Zion Pulido, Jacine Phillip, and Nicholas Paul claimed the bronze medal. Team TTO had been scheduled to face Wales in the bronze medal ride, but after Welsh rider Johan Hepburn was forced to withdraw through injury, the bronze was awarded to Team TTO. Australia captured gold, clocking 42.455 seconds to defeat England, who took silver in 43.032 seconds. From the cycling track to the Mondo, Team TTO enjoyed a productive day overall. Shaniqua Bascom powered into Friday's women's 200 meters final after winning her semi-final in 22.31 seconds, followed by Jamaica's Lavanya Williams, who also qualified in 22.71 seconds. Earlier, Jareem Richards also booked his place in the men's 400 meters final after winning his semi-final in 45.06 seconds. He'll contest that final on Saturday. However, teammate Jadon Marchand missed out after finishing 5th in his 400 meters semi-final in 45.89 seconds. Former Olympic and reigning world champion Keyshawn Walcott advanced to the Commonwealth men's javelin final with a best throw of 78.26 meters. He moves into tomorrow's final 11th overall in the qualifying round. In netball, TNT's underwhelming group campaign ended in an 83-23 loss to New Zealand in their final Pool B match. Meanwhile, para-athlete Akeem Stewart was presented with his bronze medal after his outstanding performance in the men's F42-44 discus on Wednesday, where his season's best throw of 56.82 meters earned Trinidad and Tobago its first medal of the Games. Samaki Felician, CNC3 Sport.
Well, long lines, card games, smiles, and frowns could all be seen from as early as 3 a.m. on Thursday as thousands of patrons lined up outside the Queen's Park Oval hoping to get their hands on 2026 CPL tickets. TKR versus Guyana Amazon Warriors, as always, was a hot seller, but at the end of a frustrating experience, some fans were happy to take whatever tickets they could get. Ian Wason was on site.
Only look what's happening by the oval. Killing time just for ticket.
And what better way to pass the time after arriving in the early hours of Thursday morning to catch the opening of the Caribbean Premier League's local box office ahead of the 2026 season. In truth, this was no surprise after online tickets went on sale earlier in the week and some were sold out within 2 hours. Most of those who rushed to the Oval went there for tickets to the marquee TKR versus Guyana Amazon Warriors clash on August 31st. They were left disappointed as those tickets and those for TKR's meeting with Guyana Kingsmen on August 29th were sold out in no time. Some fans took the day off to purchase tickets but left empty-handed after spending hours in the line. Members of the TNT Police Service were called in to keep order and calm after a reported scuffle earlier between ticket seekers.
Well, I can't say I have a bad experience. I came earlier this morning around 10 o'clock, so and the lines was too long, stretching to Sinclair Medical, so I decided to go to work and come back, so it's much more manageable. Well, if they say that they release more tickets for those games, I'll take a try.
While many fans were able to get hands on their tickets of choice, some like Sampat had to settle for alternatives. Others left and returned hoping the crowd would have thinned but still had no luck.
It was a little bit hectic this morning when I came in Handle Park and lines were long. I went about my business and then I come back.
Many patrons who will not take no for an answer told us they will return to the ticket office again on Friday, hoping for better luck on the release of a new batch of tickets. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
Kwesi Brown bagged his 4th career CSC Games medal on Thursday and his first gold medal, winning the men's Keirin in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. In expanding his personal 2026 haul, Brown rode from the back to stun the field. Before today, Kwesi Brown's only CSC Games medal was a bronze in the men's Keirin in 2014. Already in 2026, he has captured bronze in the team and individual sprints and set about a 3rd collector's item in the men's Keirin final in Santo Domingo. Brown won his first round heat and placed 3rd in his semi-final, entering the final as a real contender. Positioned at the back of the field when the Derny left the 6 finalists to their own devices with 2 laps to go, Brown was in no rush, but he made his move here, rounding into the straight to signal 1 lap to go. He was well positioned to strike by the time they came around to the final bend.
Aparece también Matías Silvanice. Atención Trinidad y Tobago, victoria. Atención para Kwesi Brown.
Gold for the Arima man in the men's Keirin, nudging out Colombian pair Christian Ortega and Kevin Quintero. Brown's compatriot Daniel James won the ride for places 7th to 12th, 7th overall in the men's Keirin. In the women's Keirin final, TNT's Kyra Williams placed 6th. The event was won by Luz Gaxiola of Mexico. Stephanie Cuadrado of Colombia placed 2nd, with another Mexican, Yuli Verdugo, placing 3rd. TNT's Phoebe Sandy was 8th overall. The final day of CSC's cycling program was a good hunt for Team TTO. Tennille Campbell and Alexi Ramirez teamed up in the women's Madison. Colombia outlasted the field in the grueling 60-lap event beneath blazing sun to get to the line ahead of Mexico in the silver medal position. Team TTO finished 3rd. In the evening session, the medals continued to stream in. Liam Carrington added silver in the men's 50-meter backstroke in 25.10 seconds behind Marcus Reyes of Mexico, who won in 24.83. Bermuda's Jack Harvey clocked 25.33 for the bronze. And in the men's 100-meter butterfly final, Dylan Carter and Zarek Wilson carried TNT's hopes. And despite leading all the way through, Carter just didn't have the staying power on the final leg to hold off Venezuelans Manuel Diaz, who won in 52.45 seconds, and Jorge Otaiza, who was 2nd in 52.91. Carter placed 3rd in 52.99 seconds. Well, on the same day that UEFA announced that all of its 55 members will boycott future World Cups in protest to FIFA's attempts to privatize their commercial entities, CONCACAF has unanimously rejected FIFA's proposal as well. In a meeting of CONCACAF's member association presidents on Thursday morning, along with the CONCACAF Executive Council and its president, Victor Montagnani, members shared deep concern about the lack of due process surrounding the proposal, which it said FIFA announced without discussion. Members also raised concern about FIFA's September 19th deadline imposed on global member associations to decide on the proposal. In addition to rejecting that proposal, CONCACAF has tasked its FIFA Council members to engage FIFA further about the stated objectives of the proposal, which is supposedly to boost funding for football development. CONCACAF's FIFA Council members have also been mandated to hold FIFA President Gianni Infantino to proper governance processes in accordance with the FIFA statutes. Now for some news making the headlines internationally. Former New Zealand captain Stephen Fleming is England's new Test match head coach, while batsman Joe Root has been returned to the England captaincy, a role he relinquished in 2022. Fleming signs a 4-year deal with the England and Wales Cricket Board that ends in September 2030. His coaching experience is limited to T20 franchise cricket, including an 18-year stint at Chennai Super Kings, where he won 5 IPL titles. Meanwhile, Root's return to the captaincy comes after Ben Stokes' sudden international retirement at the end of the New Zealand series. England's all-time leading run scorer is back after leading England in 64 Test matches between 2017 and 2022. Cricket, archery and shooting are reportedly among the sports well-placed to regain their spots at the Commonwealth Games in India 2030. The program is not yet set for the next games in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, but according to BBC Sport, India Olympic Association's Raghu Iyer hinted that the 3 sports in question could be included owing to India's historical strong performances in them. Cricket was included for Birmingham 2022 for the first time in 24 years, but was dropped from this year's scaled down games. Well, tonight's Sport High is a salute to Kwesi Brown.
Determined to add the most precious metal to his CAC Games collection, Kwesi Brown bided his time at the back of the pack before making a dash for the front with 1 lap to go. Time to perfection, he surged into the lead and straight to the top of the podium. That expert ride, Kwesi Golden Brown, gets tonight's CNC3's Sport High.
Always very proud to see our athletes with that medal and that moment in time that, of course, many athletes strive towards. Congratulations to Kwesi Brown.
Yeah, we're doing well. Congratulations to all. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jassy. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Mega month end deals now on at Passad's The Food King. Stock up and save big on Ibis flour 10 kg, now just $68. Sweet Hand soybean oil 1.5 liters, just $25. Flavor Right assorted ice cream 3.2 liters, get 2 buckets for just $84. Sir dishwashing liquid 750 ml, 2 bottles, now $21.99. Cotoneer bathroom tissue 24 pack, now just $32. Split piece dal 400 grams, 3 packs, only $10. Central Farms halal cut-up duck, only $90. Caribbean parboiled rice 9 kg, just $74.99. Pork leg, now $18 per pound. Don't miss these mega month-end deals at Passad's The Food King. Sale end August 5th, 2026, or while stocks last.
Passad, quality value, that's our way. A real Passad's, we're here to stay. The Food King Passad's.
Here's a look at tonight's regional roundup.
A 5-member commission of inquiry has been officially sworn in to investigate the deadly sinking of the MV Arima. The disaster is believed to have claimed more than 100 lives, with 30 people still missing. Chaired virtually by Belizean Justice Godfrey Ferb-Smith, the independent panel of maritime and legal experts will examine the causes, law compliance and rescue efforts. President Irfan Ali pledged full government support, saying the nation and grieving families deserve a fair and thorough account of what happened. Doctors Without Borders has resumed maternity services in Haiti. Operations were suspended for nearly 3 weeks after intense gang violence brought gunfire to the facility, displacing thousands and leaving local mothers without critical care. MSF officials say the hospital is once again running around the clock. However, with gangs controlling more than 85% of Port-au-Prince, the organization is urging all armed groups to respect medical workers and patients. Jesse Ramdio, CNC3 News.
Let's take another short break. Stay with us right here on CNC3.
The best eyewear this summer is at Seaview Optical. Buy one complete clear single vision glasses for $499. Get the second pair free. Or get progressive transitions with designer frames for only $1,399. The best in luxury eyewear. All exclusively available at Seaview Optical.
Get the story first. Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today.
Welcome back. Queen's Royal College's legacy is usually told through its history and achievements, but this week it's being told through nearly 200 works of art. Angelo Jedediah shows us how former students are keeping that tradition alive.
For over a century, this iconic building has stood as a hallmark of history and legacy. But today, that legacy extends beyond the physical walls of Queen's Royal College, stepping directly onto the campus. Over the past few days at the National Academy of the Performing Arts, the QRC Art Legacy exhibition has showcased an array of masterpieces, all crafted by alumni spanning generations. The artwork ranges from detailed depictions of the historic college itself to beloved local sites, like the iconic snow cone vendor at the Queen's Park Savannah. It's a celebration with a singular mission to honor and showcase the immense creative talent nurtured right within the halls of QRC.
If I am to be biased, obviously, I would say that it's because we have always produced thinkers. We've always produced people who are prepared to push the limits, push the envelope, if you want to call it that. And so, and art falls right into that. Art tells us stories, right? It's stories about humanness.
Just like this image taken by Harry showing the Port of Spain skyline as seen from sea lots, the exhibition itself reflects the duality of life. Many of the 21 featured artists navigate dual lives of their own. Together, they are showcasing nearly 200 pieces of art, proving that demanding corporate careers can easily coexist with a lifelong passion for the canvas.
My 9 to 5, my degree is in economics. So I work at University of West Indies, nothing to do with art. My voice when it comes to art and creativity will be art, fashion, carnival, right?
I think what made me go into art was, one, I had the best teachers in school. Actually, one of my teachers actually exhibited here, Carl Doyle. I also had another teacher, Sabrina Sharon, who was absolutely amazing towards me and seeing that my art got propelled.
For retired medical doctor Gerald Hines, the artistic journey began much later in life, just 6 years ago. Looking for a retirement hobby, Dr. Hines took up art lessons, uncovering a natural talent that quickly took off.
What I really wanted to do was pan, actually. I wanted to learn to beat pan. But I'll still get to that. But art came along. I asked my sister to find a teacher for me. She found a teacher. The energy, the vibes connected. And between herself and Patrick Roberts, they have driven me, cajoled, encouraged, all the other synonyms. And here I am.
For others, art has somewhat saved them.
I was hit by a car. I lost my right eye. I have steel in my hand. And eventually what happened is that the doctors told me unfortunately in my good eye, I now have glaucoma. So all the work you see here was done after the accident, so it doesn't stop me.
And while their inspirations come from all walks of life, renowned artist Jackie Hinkson served as both a mentor and a teacher during many of their days at QRC. Decades later, that mentor spirit remains, along with his sharp, critical eye.
I might be impressed at a technical level, or I might be more impressed at the vision that is being expressed, but yeah, everything is of some quality at some level, definitely.
Open for just a few more days, the QRC Art Legacy exhibition stands as proof that while time may pass and careers diverge, the artistic legacy within these school halls continues to inspire and endure. Angelo Jetediah, CNC3 News.
A great alumni project. I feel like all schools should have a, art gallery. But Jassy, this is particularly interesting to you. Where's your piece of art?
It doesn't exist. Yeah, I have a few scribbled maybe on the school desk still, but definitely art was not my thing.
Get it together, Jassy. The next time we have to see your piece.
That's right. All right. Well, as we leave you, let's remind you to stay connected with us on our social media platforms.
There you'll find tonight's stories, the latest updates, and exclusive content. And don't forget to pick up a copy of the TNT Guardian newspaper.
We've come to the end of the 7 p.m. news here on CNC3. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ria Rambley.
I'm Ryan Baichu.
I am Jassy Marique.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed. Have a good night.